We are nearly there. We are so close to the Cheltenham Festival. But beforehand, let's try and find you a few winners and build that betting bank. Traditionally, of course, Sanders Imperial Cup card comes up first of all. And always a cracking card, this, Jez. It kind of gets lost in the lustre, of course, with Cheltenham so close. But the EBF Final, the Imperial Cup, 100 grand on offer. If you can win the Imperial Cup and go win at Cheltenham, it's not to be forgotten about, Joel.
No, it's not. I don't mind this this meeting at all. Normally, you'd give it a swerve, but this is so close to Cheltenham. Like yesterday, I was at Haydock, and the first race had 2 runners in it. I think it was worth like 15 grand or something to the winner. And you're going, somebody must have one out there that's 10% fit, and you're picking up a nice whack for third. But it's all about Cheltenham, as you know. But let's get some winners to boost that betting bank so we can go all in on Madgeborough.
Well, that's where Frankie's got to go in. But you're closer to Sandown. Incredible, Frankie. We've had the last 2 meetings abandoned because of waterlogged ground, and now it looks like we're going to be on good to soft.
I know, yeah, it's been beautiful down here. I'm going to Sandown tomorrow, actually. Just blow the cobwebs off before we get into Cheltenham. You don't want to get too excited, do you, on day one? So a nice day's racing on the Saturday. Then you're in the swing of things ready for Cheltenham. Even Cheltenham, it might be nice weather next week. We might get some sunshine.
Who knows? Whisper it quietly. Right, let's have a look at the action. It's one of my favourite races of the season, this EBF Final. Usually goes to like a real nice embryonic chaser of the future. Always a big field as well. Sean Bowe and Ollie Murphy. Can Sean Bowe get his first festival winner this year? Could he win the EBF Final? Scorpio Rising on a 4-timer. The Skeletons have got Unknown Entity. Kaka's Cousin was a good winner last time out at Kelso. Gentleman to Boot. I thought he was a real nice type. This is always a crack, and some of the big names from the season going forward, future chasers to look forward to as well. What wins this one, the EBF Final, Frankie?
I like Paulings, but just a word on Scorpio Rising at the top of the market. Something I've noticed, and I wonder what Ollie Murphy might have learnt from Gordon Elliott. They seem to be 2 trainers that when they get a young novice hurdler, or maybe one that turns out to go chasing, they have a real good way of letting them rack up ones without going into deeper waters too soon, finding a maiden or a novice and then a sort of lesser handicap and maybe one at a lesser track. You see it quite frequently from both trainers. This horse is rated 128 and it's won 3 already and may win its 4th. So credit to Mr. Murphy, and Scorpion Rising will obviously go there with a favourites chance. I like one that's slightly more unexposed, and you mentioned Chasers of the Future. 4 Springs was a 3-mile point-to-point winner by 22 lengths. That's his first start as logged on the Racing Post. He won his novice hurdle after that, and more importantly, or more interesting last time out, was 5 lengths behind Sinatra, who's at the top of the market for the county next week, and behind the pair of them was probably about 37 to 40 lengths to 3rd place. So he's relatively unexposed. Yes, Sinatra won well, but I think he's a very good horse, and I'd say 4 Springs will have a good chance tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be a big week for the Paulings. It could be nice for them with a bit of confidence for a winner going into it. Joel?
Quinquenta in this one for Snowden and Gorgeous Gav. I think it was still a double-figure price, but Jamie Snowden came out afterwards, after Market Racing won by 8.5 lengths, start of February, and said on telly that this was the target. That last time beat G-Force Flyer of Ollie Murphy's, who's a decent yardstick, and neck behind Precious Metal for Hen Knights at Lingfield before that. And if you have a look at that race, half a length second to, is it Gatto? I always want to say Gatto Park. Gattino Park, or whatever it's called. It's Kim Bailey's horse, isn't it? And third that day was the 5-2 on shot, which was meant to be the next coming, Giant's Grave of Skeletons. So I think something at a big price will win this. And honestly, it's worth just having a pop. And I'm sure there'll probably be extended places as well. So Cinquenta for Jamie Snowden and Gorgeous Gav.
Won the race last year with Lawrence Bay, of course, at a massive price, 33 to 1. Right, Imperial Cup. Okay, 100 grand on for grabs if you can win here and go and win, of course, at the festival. I'm going to start with you, Joel, because your old mate Mondo Man tops the betting.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit short. This race is probably made for Mondo Man. I think last night was 4-1, 7-2, something like that. But one of our old friends who won at a massive price a while ago for Dirty Dan Skelton, Knickerbocker Glory. It blew up at Windsor last time and was beaten nearly 40 lengths. It was only 6-1 that day as well. Before that, second to Go Dante at Sandown, less than a length there. And I think Affordale was third that day as well. It's top weight here. I think it's been dropped £1 for that last run. Harry Atkins takes off the 7. He's decent for his £7. And I think the way you get this horse to win is just go from the front. As Dave Orton would say, you just got to send it. You've just got to send him. Knickerbocker Glory, again, at a really big price. Obviously, won't be going to Cheltenham. So let's get, was it 51 grand for the winner or something for this?
Yeah. That'll do. Very nice. Over and under quotes, how many times will we hear send him on Monday night?
Oh, God. I would take my bell and bang it. But unfortunately, I'll be out of bell juice.
What wins the Imperial Cup, Frankie?
Oh, God. It's a proper muddle, really, isn't it? Because they've all beaten each other at various points. So I'd certainly take on Mondo Man. He won at 1-7 last time in a very average race, and he still can't jump hurdles very well. So he's short enough for me. I went round and around the houses with the likes of Godante, Affodil, even Knickerbocker Glory in there, as Joel's given a shout to. These horses that have raced each other plenty of times. I think I'm going to stick with Ye Old Faithful, Godante, who still somehow retains towards a price of 10-1, despite winning this race and at Sandown over and over again. Yes, he was pulled up last time out, but back to track and trip, that old chestnut. I think you've got to have a crack each way. I know he is getting older, but this is his race, his playing field. So it's just the fact that he's such an attractive price. He's teasing me into an each way bet.
No horse has ever won 3 Imperial Cups. Was he the first to win 2, or was there somebody else won 2? Might have been the second. Not many.
Right.
But no horse has ever won 3. So
remember that phrase being thrown around. I think first to win 2. I think.
There you are. So definitely the first to win 3 if he's successful tomorrow. Right. Let's move on to this. The Mares of Bumper. Then obviously big race at Aintree comes up the target for these horses, but it's a real nice prize to look forward to as well. Real wide open. The present Birds of a Feather with a U is your mark leader for Max Comley and David Bass. Ben Clark and Ben Jones got the flag ashore. Your mates and ITV Racing Club got one as well. Joel, what wins the Mares Bumper?
If you've been watching us over the road to Cheltenham and the Punters Guide, my mate Bumpersy Bump. It's a long story. I'll not go down that. He's just an anorak who only sticks to bumpers. He couldn't believe the price when I messaged him last night. So this is not my work. This is his work. 2 things that are bizarre. When was the last time a bumper was on ITV that wasn't at a festival? Let's be honest. Birds of a Feather. Now, apparently, this is unbelievable. One on Rule's debut, 19 lengths at Warwick. The message I got was explosive. She's mental. Just wants to get home as quick as possible. Nothing else. There's nothing else has come out of that race since. But if you look at the point-to-point form, unseated, fell, ran out, and won by 11 lengths. Has a few issues, but honestly, he says, I watched it back last night, just wants to go. It's a bit like me, get to the pub before last orders. That is what she'll be doing. And I think, I don't know what the price is now, but 9-2 was available last night. I think it was 8-1 earlier this week. And Bumpety Bump said, still could not believe the price on this.
Explosive, mental, wants to get home as quick as possible. Sounds like some of your dates.
Rings a bell.
Yeah.
Right, Sandown. Right, Frankie.
Sandown. All right, Sandown. How are you doing? Can I be calm now?
Oh, dear, it's all going off. All right, Frankie. You've heard that. Do you agree?
Yeah. How do I follow that?
Are you going somewhere else?
It's some form like that, isn't it? I can't. 3 mile points, unseated, fell, ran out, and then won by 11 lengths. Definitely mental. I will be going with Cromwell and Cobden with Lennon Grove, who has a slightly interesting CV in comparison to some of these that have just ran in bumpers. Not quite as interesting as Joel's shout Birds of a Feather, but she was second in a point to Divine Diva. She's won a 3 mile point, beating Millstat Abbey, who is in here for the Noel Feely Racing team. This isn't a 3 mile point, obviously, but just on sort of loose form lines, Millstat Abbey did put in a decent bumper performance. And then from there, Lennon Grove was 5th at Listowel. That turned out to be decent form with Celestial Tune in there. Then she's running second behind first term, and then I won last time out. So she's sort of dipped in and out of form. She's ran in the race, I think, was better than this. She's beaten Millstat Abbey, who's gone on to run well. I think the form line adds up to a lot better than what she's maybe shown, just because of, I suppose, she's been beaten a few times, but I don't think this is the the best race, the best bumper you'll get all season. So Cromwell to come over and nick some prize money early doors.
Okay, yeah, and try and team up, of course, for the festival next week. Right, the Filmy race over fences this Saturday is a 3:35. It's over 3 miles, and the top three in the market at present all won last time out. We've only seen Calamistic once this year. Vinicki and Nico de Boyne for winning at Newbury before Christmas. But is it Venetia time with Bucky de Epierre, Frankel?
Too much sunshine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just normally a bit softer. Welcome to Cartrees for me. This is last roll of the dice for me. I mean, he started off in Grade 1 races early in his career over fences. Not that he was winning them, but I think a lot of people would have thought his career would have gone a bit better than it has thus far. But he does have a 1 next to his name here at Sandown over course and distance. He blew out last time, but I think that was in a race that's a little bit too good for him. So carries a lot of weight, but when he won, he was carrying 11.11. I just think he appreciates a slightly lower caliber race than perhaps what he's been campaigned in most of the time. So it should go a little bit slower for him. And as I said, he has 1 carrying 11.11. So I'll side with him at the top of the weights, bar 1, who's a 25 to 1 shot down the bottom.
Joel?
I'll copy and paste everything Frankie said there. I think it's one of the stronger ones of the weekend. Back in December, beat New Order ahead, and that finished second in the Great Yorkshire Chase, and pulled up quickly at Ascot last time, stopped very quickly. I'm not a vet, but looked like it popped a blood vessel, bled, whatever. I've not seen the excuse that have come out from there. So in the age-old racing quote, let's put a line through that last run and hope he can win off a heavyweight, which I think he should do this weekend.
You're a bloody good vet if you can spot a pop blood vessel from the telly.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
The yours or the horses?
Yeah, well, the stewards, look, the stewards cannot spot non-triers in any race, but I can spot a pop blood vessel 3 outs.
Right, obviously, traditionally as well, going to Cheltenham, we just get a little bit of a nod to the flat because we've got some all-weather action at Wolverhampton in front of the ITV cameras. The Lincoln Trial, of course, is the feature at listed Lady Wolfruna. But we start with a sprint handicap, opening the card there, 205. Frankie, turn your hand to the flat. What wins their opener?
I reckon Joel might agree because we like a bet like this on the all-weather when one just gets a bit of poor luck or they race a little bit wide and they still finish well. The favourite, Kula Zane, was a winner here at Wolves on his first start back in December. And then last time I thought he ran a great race. He went off favourite. He just had to take a bit of a wide turn. He was up in the van the whole way and going wide all the way around the bend. And the 2 that finished in front of him just had a bit of a handier position on the rail and just made their strike a little bit later. So I think he ran really well in defeat and can probably win back here at Wolves.
Do you agree, Joel?
It was on the short list, but I was looking at Silky Wilkie. Yeah, no, I was looking at Silky Wilkie, the 7-year-old gelding. I think they paid it was less than 20 grand they paid for this, and it's nearly won 300 grand. And do you know what? I do like some of the better all-weather racing. Look, this horse always runs its race. It beat that Water of Leith last time at Jim Goldie's. And if you ever fancy a laugh, anytime that horse runs, get yourself on Twitter. This horse will make any jockey look incompetent. It's the top end of the handicap now for me, but I thought Silky Wilkie will run prominent. It's got half a decent turn of foot, and I think it'll be there. And Jack Nicholls is on, taken off, a regular rider. He's taken off the £5 or £7. So Silky Wilkie for me, it's probably at 7 or 8 to 1.
Okay, then move on to the Lincoln Trial, and just seeing that name at the top of the market, Le Bot, and just still gives me painful memories of Jamie Spencer's ride in the Britannian just failing to get there. We're on at nice prices for that day. Does compensation await, though, in the Lincoln Trial, Joel?
Well, we're going to talk about Jamie Spencer in the next couple of races, the good, the bad, and probably the, you know what happens next. Look, second in the Britannia at Ascot, but it was Arabian Story who won that race, wasn't it? Bombed down next time at Newmarket and then went to Meydan. And even with the sun on the back and the magic carrots and whatever else goes on out there, didn't like it. So I'm thinking, a miserable Wolverhampton on a Saturday afternoon before Cheltenham. As runs twice to the all-weather, never at Wolverhampton, though. On debut, he was 50 to 1 at Kempton. He was third. He won at Newcastle as well. And I think this is a Jamie Spencer ride. I really do think it's a Jamie Spencer ride. Let me predict the Racing Post review so far. Dwelt start or missed break, hustled early, kicked at final furlong, beaten by nose.
Yeah, you've got the aftermath. Labot then for Joel. Frankie?
I like Kingdom Coming this. He was third in the race last year. He was rated in the hundreds then. His mark came right down to 96 before winning last time out, and that's put him bang on for this. Drawn 2, rated 99, a couple of pounds. I think last year's race was arguably better than this, and he comes into it off the back of a victory. Ross Orion on board.
Yeah, won the race 2 years ago as well. And he's better drawn than Labot. The draw is a slight negative for Labot, but it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. And I think he has got a class. He's definitely a group horse, I'm sure of it. Just his 5th start as well. Right, the Lady Wolfruna then. I'll start with you this time, Frankie. Cool Hoof Luke. Only saw once last year, of course, was the Gimcrack winner as a juvenile.
Cool Hoof Hearted. Yeah, he was a good horse, wasn't he? I'm going a bit west here, a bit rogue. Any guesses?
Witch Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of rogues in here, to be fair. Marshman, who doesn't like coming out the stalls, but he is going to race over 7 furlongs for the first time. Perhaps he might just...
Hang on a sec. That makes a difference. If he's running over 7 furlongs, he goes, I'll come out then.
Well, it might mean he can just latch onto the back of the group by the time they get racing, and he might put himself in with a chance. He's a frustrating horse to follow. He has ran in group races, and when he does get it right, he is a class horse. The last 2 times he has fell out the stalls, and his challenge has basically been deemed irrelevant because he's, however, far behind the main group. But just slightly slower. It's the first time he's gone over 7. Obviously, he does need to break a bit better than he has been, but if breaks a little bit better and it gets a little bit of time to get actually racing, then I think he could be in with a squeak. But he is expensive to follow, that's for sure.
Goes rogue with a 3rd favourite. Joel?
Witch Hunter, we put this up last year, didn't we? And Spencer was booked that day. And we know what happens. Dwell at the start. Ran on well, final furlong, beaten a pube. Or less than a length. I think was it off? Was it 109 last year and 112 this year, or the other way around? I can't remember. But Sean Levy is booked here. Levy's on.
No, Joe Levy.
Joe Levy, not Sean Levy. Joe Levy is booked this time. I'll stick with Witch Hunter at this level. No, really like it. It's actually there's some really good racing today this weekend on the all weather. Really good. Really enjoy it.
There we go.
It's not your normal, tosh at Dundalk or whatever.
Yeah, it's good card. It is a good card. It's obviously Sandown, the feature racing. Let's get your best bets then. I'll start with you, Joel.
Hang on, go to him first. Oh, hang on, my lights. I'm at work. My lights have just gone off. I'm just going to move. Right, 1 second. Hang on.
Right, we'll edit that bit out. Okay, right then. We'll do Frankie. Let's start this again. We'll edit that bit out. Frankie, what would be your best bet this weekend?
Oh, sorry. I was getting ready for my Cheltenham Festival Yankee. My best bet, I think, is going to go to Welcome to Cartrees for the Nichols team at Sandown.
Joel, what's your best bet?
Welcome to Cartrees.
There we are. We'll take that on the Cheltenham Eve card, won't we? We don't need to split. We can just go all in. And he's a nice price as well. 8, something like that.
Yeah. Okie dokie then. Frankie, just recap your Imperial Cup play, please.
My Imperial Cup play is going to be with the old faithful 10 years old Go Dante for Ollie Murphy, Sean Bowen. They're a match made in heaven, Sean Bowen and Go Dante, as is the track and the trip. One more chance at the Imperial Cup for Go Dante, I reckon.
Okay, beautiful stuff. Right then, before we do sign off, of course, Cheltenham is just around the corner. Can't wait for Tuesday to kick it all off. But before we do leave you, we're going to give you our Cheltenham Lucky 15s for this year. So, So, who wants to go first?
You go, Matt. You go first. You go first, because...
Okay, I'll go first then. So Tuesday, don't worry. We're all going to get through Tuesday with the bet still standing because the first leg's on Wednesday. So I'm going to go for no drama this end in the Turners for Paul Nicholls. 20 years after Denman heartbreak, he finally wins the Turners. On Thursday, this is the one I've been putting up for quite a while now. Electric Mason in the Potemps. That Marchand 2 film looks very good. So I think he for the Potemps. And on Friday, Mercy in the County Hurdle. She's a Grade 1 winner off a nice mark for Willie Mullins. And then in the Mare's Chase, Diva Luna for Ben Paul. I think she's an absolute star in the making, and she can certainly give Dino Blue plenty to worry about. So no drama this end in the Turners, Electric Mason, the Potemps, Mercy in the County, and Diva Luna in the Mares. Frankie?
I am not going to play it safe and go through Tuesday without a bet. I'm going to go in the opener, Mighty Park, to win the Supreme. I think he will blow them away. I'm honestly expecting a big performance from him. So Mighty Park and Willie Mullins to get back to business at Cheltenham, usual proceedings. From there, we will go with Handstands in the Ultima, a race typically won by English trainers. Ben Pauling in great form, and Handstands has been talked about as one that could kick on to the National. I think he's got a big race in him in the Ultima. One at a big price, Ballyadam in the Cup. Really like his chances. He is 11 years old, but trained by Henry de Bromred, no better man for getting a horse primed for the festival. He goes off the same mark as last year in what I think was a better race. And you can see that this has been the target because of his just little outing on the flat in prep for Cheltenham. So a peculiar season, but you can trust in Henry to get them ready for the festival, despite what they've done throughout the year. And to finish off in the Triumph, Selma De Veri, who finished behind Narcisco Has at the DRF. I thought he was the Irish God-given certainty for this year. He's an on-runner. She could be best of the rest.
Nice four. Right, Joel, what are your four?
Well, I'll be looking for Henry de Bromhead if he gets a win, a bit like Venetia time. He's woefully out of form, isn't he, old Henry? But like Frankie says, gets him ready for this time. If he bangs one in, I'm starting going all over Henry's. But at the minute, I'm going for Dignam in the Fred Winter for Joseph O'Brien. I'm going to go for McClory in the plate for JP and Emmett Mullins. Emmett Mullins again in the National Hunt Chase. When you see Emmett Mullins and Paul Byrne together, back me or sack me. And then my final leg, I'm going, right. And shoot me down with this because it's done absolutely nothing this season. Bet MGM Cup, the yellow clay.
Ooh. I don't hate it. I did have a look at it the other day. I don't hate it. Yeah,
it's you know, when we do the preview night on Monday night at the Bottle of Sauce in Cheltenham, I'm going to gauge I mentioned the yellow clay earlier and just gauge what the audience is like because I think is it Johnny Deneen who said to be honest with you, is the most overrated horse in training.
Interesting. Yeah, gauge the audience. Glad you mentioned Monday night. Don't forget, Monday night, Bottle of Sauce. If you got your ticket, come along and see us, 7 o'clock in the town centre, live preview show at the final Road to Cheltenham on the eve of the Cheltenham Festival. We'll be there. We've got John Joe Neal Jr., Katie Walsh and Dave Orton as well, 6 of us, trying to steer you through the 2026 Cheltenham Festival. This was a Punters Guide. Best of luck wherever you're backing this week. Try and boost that betting bank ahead of the greatest show on turf getting underway on Tuesday.